I've been putting off making this video for weeks because it is my least favorite part of what I do. But some of these chickens and one duck that I'm going to tell you guys about today, I know that you have also grown to love them, and I think because of that you deserve to know what has happened. Hello friends, welcome to Chickenlandia. My name is Dahlia. I'm a backyard chicken educator, also known as the president of Chickenlandia. Raising chickens has been the best way for me to find peace and joy in my life, and I want to help you find that too. I am going to talk about some peace and joy today, believe it or not. I am, but some of this is going to be hard. Right, Bubba? You're my emotional support chicken. You're a good boy. I'm going to put him down. This is just real life, what is happening in Chickenlandia, and it's super hard for me to talk about this kind of stuff. I've had some pretty big losses. I lost 3 very special birds that I want to tell you about. The first one I want to tell you about is my very special needs chicken. Her name was Flo. You're such a good girl. I had this incident where I had a lot of chickens get sick at the same time, and they had what appeared to be some kind of toxic episode. I figured that it was probably some toxic mushrooms that were in my chicken yard. I didn't realize they were there. I found them and removed them, but it was too late for some of the chickens. But I had one chicken named Flo who seemed to recover. She had like some obvious neurological issues that happened, and then she seemed to recover pretty well, but she was just kind of derpy, I guess. Sorry, I don't know if that is offensive or not, but she kind of like walked a little bit sideways, and she slept kind of curled up. It was very odd, but I spent a lot of time with her. She actually was a rescue from somebody down the street. They just gave her to me because she didn't have anywhere else to go. And she didn't even have a name until she got sick. And then I started calling her Flo, and I got really close to her. And that is like the hardest part, is like they get sick and then you're spending like all this time with them and you're getting really close to them and they're getting close to you and they're giving you this look like, thank you, and thank you for taking care of me. And that's what makes it so hard when they pass, is because you did everything you could and they still just got sick and they died, which is the natural thing to happen, but it's still really hard. For a long time, I would bring her out every day and she would run around and she would be around the chicken yard. I didn't let her into the chicken yard because I didn't know. I thought it was something that came from the mushrooms, but it's also possible that she had something viral or something contagious, and if that's the case, I didn't want to let her in the chicken coop with all the other chickens. So she had like a little place outside of the chicken yard where she could be next to the chickens, and I would like let her run around and free range with me when I was outside, and it was a very special time, and I absolutely loved her. But she passed away a few weeks ago. About a week ago, my chicken Charlie, she had been having problems. A friend of mine, she was going on a long trip, and she was like, I don't know if I should take Charlie with me. And also, Charlie had this circumstance where all of her flock mates died when they were very young. And so Charlie grew up just in the company of a human, and she also had a friend that was a dog, a best friend, a dog best friend. And it was really cute because they just hung around together all the time. But her human, who loved her very much, she messaged me and she said, I really want her to have a flock. I want her to know some other chickens, and would you take her? And of course I said yes. Charlie had a bit of a rough time integrating into my flock because she was a single chicken and she was just a little silky, and sometimes silky or a little bit more submissive, but she ended up doing okay. Like, she became Bubblicious' girlfriend, and they were together all the time. Around the time that the mushroom thing happened, she was one of the ones that got sick. And she was literally like walking backwards. She was vomiting. And that's when the vet was like, this is some kind of toxin, I think. And I was able to actually get her healthy homeopathically. And then I also gave her, after that, I gave her a course of antibiotics because I did feel like she had some kind of bacterial thing going on, like some kind of infection probably caused by whatever damage was done. And she was doing great. And I thought we were really over it. But I did say in that video, you know, I don't know how long I have with Charlie, because once they get super sick like that, they're just vulnerable forever, especially if they've been on antibiotics. So a couple weeks ago, I discovered she had something going on again in our digestive system. It was incredibly serious. I knew it was serious. I still tried to, you know, keep her alive and do everything I could. But eventually I had to make the decision to have her put down, and she was at the vet already, so I just had her put down at the vet. That was a difficult experience, but, you know, the vet was like, you're doing the right thing. But it was really hard. The last one I want to tell you about, which is super sad, and I'm sorry. Like, I hate this. I feel like I'm letting you down. But Mr. Robot died, and he was my little call drake. He was a tiny little thing. You know, he had like super short legs and a super short bill. You know, sometimes when people breed call ducks, they try to breed them where their bills are really short. Like, the shorter, the better, because of course they look cute. And the smaller, the better, because they look cute. But that's not necessarily healthiest for the birds. And Mr. Robot had such a small bill and such short little legs that there were a lot of things he couldn't do. And he just came to me with special needs. Like, he couldn't bathe himself. He didn't like to get into the water. He was like the duck that hated water. But he was super cute. And if you guys remember, over the summer, I was in Toronto with my family and we were having a grand old time. And then I got a message from my friend who was watching my flock, and she said, you know, something's going on with Mr. Robot. And it turned out that he had something called fly strike. And if you don't know what fly strike is, it is absolutely the worst thing. It is like the worst thing that can happen to a chicken or an animal. It happens a lot to farm animals. So it happened, and I thought for sure he was going to die at that point. He was at the vet for like 4 days. He got through it. And I told him, "Mr. Robot, if you get through this, I'm going to get you some wives." He got through it, you know, obviously. And so I got him 2 little call ducks that became his little extra wives. And he was super happy. And he had a great life after that. And he was doing really well until one day, he just was not doing well. I knew that he had sustained some internal damage when he had fly strike. So I knew that probably my time was limited with him. And I wasn't that surprised. He went down really fast. I didn't have time to take him to the vet or anything. But I did have time to put him in the sink. And he swam. I'd never seen him do that. And then in that last day, I had him in the sink, and he went for a little swim, and he did seem happy. And I'm so glad that he had that experience and that I got some extra time with him, even though it ended the way it did. And I gotta tell you, in these moments, I won't lie. Sometimes I'm like, I hate this. I just want to give up. You know, I'm tired. Then I look out at my flock and I look at my life. Just in the last 2 years, my life has gotten better. You know, my health has gotten better. Both my mental health and my physical health has gotten better. You know, chickens have really helped me to heal. And as hard as these times are, it's like once I come out here and I look at them and I see them pecking and scratching, it really feels worth it. And the other thing is, this is my way of like communicating with you. You know, this is like the thing that I'm putting out into the world, and that feels really good too. So I'm still here. I've just been through a bit of a tough time. You know, it's been a hard few weeks, but the spring is coming soon. And that's the lesson of the chicken yard, is that there are dark times, but the spring always comes, you know, and with baby chicks and eggs and everything else, and that's what we have to remember. I am always interested in what you guys have to say. I'm always interested in what you're going through. If you're having a hard time or whatever, or if you're having a great time, I want you to tell me in the comments. I love hearing from all of you. I read all the comments. Even if I don't reply, I read all the comments. And I just want you to know that no matter what, you are always welcome in Chickenlandia. Thank you.